a good friend of mine, Daryl McCullough in Muskoka, he reminded me that many mayors and municipal politicians may not be fully aware of the impact of rent control and the unintended consequences of this legislation. This is not good legislation, and rent controls are not a good thing, and generally they don't take care of the tenants in your area to provide quality rental housing. Now look, the rental housing generally is dumbbell shaped. It's younger people and it's older people. Typically families want to buy homes. Now the average age in your municipality is probably going up. Let me give you an example. Gravenhurst has an average age of 49 years old. Barrie has an average age of 38 years old. In these smaller towns, it makes sense to build rental housing for the people who are getting older there. Where do people live between living in a house and living in a full service retirement home, which is typically about average age 85? Well, they need to sell their home, they need to move into quality rental housing, and that quality rental housing doesn't exist in most regions. Rental housing conditions were finally changing to the point where development made sense, and developers have started building in Ontario. Rental housing really is a local business, and it's been meddled with by the provincial government and the federal government to, I think, the detriment of the municipality. You know, as a municipal politician, your hands are not tied. You can have some influence on the provincial government, the federal government, to create policies that make sense to encourage rental housing. Every time that legislation changes, particularly with this last change in April of 2017, it brings uncertainty to the development community. And uncertainty is not going to get rental housing built in your municipality. Developers need to know that if they build rental housing, they're going to be subject to the same set of rent regulation that they were promised before, and not to have that regulation changed. That's what happened in Ontario this month, and that's going to have an impact on the number of apartments built in your town. I'm hoping we can inspire mayors and municipal politicians around the province to do a ground-up approach to lobbying the provincial government, the federal government, to create policies that make sense.